I feel that I'm back in the US or in a Western world country. It's a familiar feeling type of thing. You guys need to check your dams.
Extreme flooding caused a more than 100-year-old dam to partially fail this week in Minnesota, and officials say the structure is in imminent failure condition.
Well, we continue to stay on top of that breaking news. People living near the city of Mankato, Minnesota, about 80 miles southwest of Minneapolis, are on high alert after flooding caused a dam to fail.
I feel US, so check your dams over there. In fact, the whole world needs to check their dams.
Across the state, people in at least 40 Minnesota counties are feeling the impact of high water.
This evening, the flooding has put an iconic dam in jeopardy, along with homes and a business nearby.
In southern Minnesota, an ominous warning by officials about the Rapidam Dam. They say it's in imminent failure condition after flooding and debris partially breached this 114-year-old structure along the Blue Earth River.
Feels like it's either a dam or a waterfall or like a river, but a huge, large body of water.
Raging floodwaters have partially breached a dam in Minnesota, and residents downstream might need to evacuate. Another fast-moving river brought down a railroad bridge, this one in Sioux City, Iowa, which has got more than 1.5 feet of rain since Thursday. That is a lot of rain.
It was a similar scene here along the Iowa-South Dakota state line. A train bridge connecting the two states collapsed after being overtaken by the rising Big Sioux River, which reached a record high water level of roughly 45 feet.
It's just insane to see what water can do.
This feels like there's a huge flow of water. Okay. You know what?
Communities under several feet of water across the Midwest. Here in Waterville, Minnesota, we want to show you here this neighborhood here. Residents have been forced to evacuate their homes. They're told they may not be able to return home for at least another week. This, of course, is just one example of one state across the Midwest facing these dangerous floods. Over in South Dakota, the governor there declaring that one person has died from these floods. Meantime, in Iowa, there is a state of emergency there following the foot officials there are calling severe and widespread destruction. Overnight, a train bridge collapsing into the Big Sioux River due to the flooding, several trusses submerged. Now, these are historic floods, major rivers cresting, some 4 feet higher than previous records, nearly 2,000 properties impacted, and talking about hundreds of homes destroyed, some cities without power, and even some without drinkable water. The National Guard deploying helicopters to rescue people from the rooftops over in the city of Rock Valley. But really, to put this into perspective for you all, we spoke with our weather team. They're telling me this is an example of a 1-in-1,000-year flood. Just for some perspective, an event like this might not happen for at least 0.1% in a given year.
It's during the day.
Take a look at all of that. That is drone video from this afternoon where all day long the raging water has been eating away at the riverbanks.
The scene that you see behind me is not the same as it was earlier in the day. That's because minute by minute, hour by hour, we have watched as more of this land has toppled into the river below. That includes roads, telephone poles, even a home, all falling into those powerful currents that clogged up the dam to begin with in the first place.
A cherished home on the river's bank collapsed in, with county officials calling recent changes to the Rapidam Dam dramatic, adding water isn't running through the dam anymore, now flowing entirely through the West Bank breach, sweeping a playground, earth, and trees away.
Tell your leaders to check their dams.